Top right. Well, good evening to you and welcome inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, home of this year's Nebraska FFA State Convention, Session 7, just wrapping up moments ago behind us, I should say. I'm Bryce Duska, joined this evening by Alex Wojcicki.
You heard Bryce say Session 7 just wrapped up. That means the new Nebraska FFA State Officer team was elected, and we get to meet each and every member of this year's team.
Well, let's go ahead and do so as we have the first Nebraska FFA State Vice President step up here. First, have you introduce yourself as well as tell us where you're from.
I am Timm. I am from the Creek Valley FFA chapter.
Okay, Grace, for those not familiar with Nebraska geography, where is the Creek Valley FFA chapter?
It is a consolidation of Chapel and Lodgepole, right in the middle between Sydney and Ogallala.
Okay, so the Panhandle is where you're joining us from. You just came off the stage. Folks can see it behind us. How did that feel to hear your name called?
Very overwhelming and exciting. I was like, no way they said my name. No way they said my name.
Have you always wanted to be a state officer, or take us back to the moment you decided you wanted to do so?
It's always been in the back of my head. I think the very moment I decided, yes, I'm doing this was last fall when it was brought up to me, but it's always just been in the back of my head. I should do that. That'd be fun.
Well, congratulations to you. That is one of our Nebraska FFA State Vice Presidents joining us here. Alex, I will send it over to you.
Well, now we get to meet State Vice President Jaylee Pope. She hails from the Shelton FFA chapter. That reaction when your name, Jaylee, was called to the stage, what was it?
I was very excited. I've been looking forward to this since I was in 7th grade, so it was a really great feeling to get my name called and run up onto the stage.
Tell us about that decision to want to run for state office.
So my chapter, actually the first year we had an ag program was my 7th grade year. So I attended my first state convention, and ever since I'd fallen in love with it, and I wanted to become a state FFA officer.
All right. I know you probably had some time to think about this. What's your goal of serving a state office?
I really want to make an impact on all the FFA members across Nebraska and leave a lasting impact on this organization.
All right. We wish you the best of luck. We'll send it back to Bryce to meet another officer.
Faith Miller of the Mullen FFA chapter, another one of our Nebraska FFA State Vice Presidents joining us. Do you know the last time Mullen had a state FFA officer?
I believe it was Lydia Vinton, and I can't tell you the year. It's been quite a while.
Just been a couple of years ago, if memory serves me right. Lydia served. Tell us about your reaction as your name was called.
Oh my gosh, I was very emotional. It's just been a crazy year. I've got a new ag teacher this year, and it's just been so awesome to have her support and the support of my community behind me. It was just amazing.
Why did you want to become a Nebraska FFA state officer?
I want to be someone who can help support and encourage members, but I really want to give back to the FFA organization after they've given me so much with opportunities. So just to be able to do that for other members is exciting.
As you look back on your FFA experiences thus far, what are one of them that sticks out as the most memorable?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. This year, probably I've tried so many new contests and just trying to get more knowledge about FFA and just kind of grow as an individual and grow for this moment exactly. So that's probably been something that's been stuck with me so far.
And certainly a lot of growth you'll have over the next year. That is Faith Miller of the Mullen FFA chapter, another one of our Nebraska FFA State Vice Presidents.
Well, State Vice President Dustin Andreessen hails from the Boone Central FFA chapter. Your name got announced and you ran up to the stage. What were those emotions running through your head?
I was just so excited. You know, the energy in PBA tonight was just absolutely electric, and to be able to continue my service to the FFA for another year just means the world to me.
For sure. All right, Dustin, where is Boone Central? Tell us more.
Boone Central's in Albion, Nebraska. So basically the way we describe it is if you put a point in between Grand Island, Norfolk, and Columbus, we're right in the middle of all of those, about an hour from each.
All right, helpful. Tell us about that moment, Dustin, when you decided you wanted to be on that stage serving as a Nebraska state officer.
I mean, I wasn't one of those people that had always wanted to be a state officer, but when that opportunity really presented itself, it hit me hard, and I really started thinking, like, I do want to extend my FFA career another year and to continue to serve the next generation of FFA members.
Was there a sign that kind of spoke to you that made you think you wanted to do that?
There was actually. I was walking down a hallway getting ready for a basketball game, and I saw the back of a sweatshirt. This story is just crazy, but I was deciding whether I wanted to be a state FFA officer or to serve as a state officer or not. And I saw the back of this sweatshirt, and it said, if something scares you and excites you at the same time, you should probably do it. And that was my situation exactly. And that kind of prompted me. That was the time when I knew that I needed to do this.
All right, we're excited for you to serve. Thanks, Dustin. That was Dustin Andreessen of the Boone Central FFA chapter serving as state vice president.
It is time to meet our final Nebraska FFA State Vice President, hailing from the Ainsworth FFA chapter, Elizabeth Wilkins. Elizabeth, had to ask you before we got over here, does FFA State office run in the family?
Yes, both my brother Jake and my brother Sam were state officers.
Was it their influence on you that made you want to run for this position, or if not, what was it?
Partially, I was able to just see how great of state officers they were. They really gave a lot to their year and see them grow. So that was part of it. But also, this is something that I've wanted to do. And this is something that I do want to do for the FFA Association, just impact members and serve throughout this year.
FFA prides itself on having supervised agricultural experiences. Tell us about your project.
So I work in a hog barn, Sandhills Elite Genetics, outside of Ainsworth, Nebraska. I also farm 125 acres of soybeans. I have a baking business. I started a curriculum program and fruit and vegetable production, all of the above.
You're not busy at all, it doesn't sound like.
No.
What was your reaction to hearing your teammates, those that you'll be serving around with over the next year? What was your reaction to hearing their names as well?
Gosh, I was just so excited. Like, these are high quality individuals, and being able to serve with them is going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
Well, congratulations to you. That is our final Nebraska FFA State Vice President, Elizabeth Wilkins from the Ainsworth FFA chapter.
Now we get to meet State Secretary Amelia Rouke of the Waverly FFA chapter. When your name, Amelia, was called to the stage to serve as State Secretary, what was going through your mind?
Oh, I was so nervous because I waited through all the vice presidents. But when my name was called, I was just filled with excitement because I had heard the names of the people called before me. And I've just made some great connections with my fellow officers. And I'm just so excited.
Tell me about that moment, Amelia, when you decided, I want to be on that stage. That's what I want to do.
So I've never actually been to an in-person state convention. I joined sophomore year. And I was talking with my advisor, and she just encouraged me so much. And I wanted another year of FFA. I joined it, and I was like, where can I get more of this? And so that's when the journey began to get here.
So tell me more about that process to get more. You have some stories of how you did that.
So I had my first CD competition. I was in ag sales, and I had such a great experience that I said, where can I get more of this? And I ran that year for chapter office, and I became our chapter president. I served for my junior and senior year, and I joined everything. If I had the time through my busy schedule, I was at FFA. Early morning practices, I couldn't get enough of it.
I'm sure you're excited to bring that dedication to the team. What do you hope to bring to FFA members as you're in your year of service?
So through the people I've met in FFA, they've just been super encouraging and some of the best people I've ever met. So the connections are so important to me. And if I could build those relationships with other FFA members and students and help inspire them and encourage them, then I think that my work would be accomplished.
All right. We can't wait to see what you do. That is Amelia Rouke. She is serving as the state secretary from the Waverly FFA chapter.
Alexis Boatlock from the Pender FFA chapter, serving this year's Nebraska FFA State President. Had to check your last name. Did I get it right there, Alexis?
Yes, you did. Thanks.
Had to make sure I did so. You had the honor of being the last name called as state president. You get to wait and sit and watch all your teammates run up there, not knowing if you were going to be one of them or not. How did that make you feel, and what did it feel like when your name was finally called?
Oh my gosh, I was just standing in that circle and my knees are shaking, and I'm just waiting for anyone else's names to be called. Everyone that I've met over the last month has been so amazing. And then when I just heard my name, at first I didn't even know what to do. I was just so excited to run up there, and I know these guys are going to be my best friends, so I just wanted to get on that stage with them.
What made you want to serve as a Nebraska FFA state officer?
I think that one of the things that really made me want to serve is I've had the opportunity to interact with other state officers or just people within the agricultural industry. And those have been the people that have always pushed me or believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And really what I want to do is be able to go into a classroom or an industry meeting and just empower others and lift them up as well.
Haven't asked any of your teammates yet. How was this year's state convention back in person? How did it feel?
It was so amazing to be back in person. I haven't done that since I was a freshman, and it was great seeing all of the other juniors through freshmen and junior high kids that have never been here before. It was amazing to just see their bright eyes and see that blue corduroy all over again. So that was amazing.
What are you most looking forward to about the next year?
I think what I'm looking forward to the most over this next year is just helping other people grow, but also having the opportunity to grow myself as a leader. I'm just really excited to serve others as well.
That is Alexis Boatlock from the Pender FFA chapter, this year serving as Nebraska FFA State President. Alex, I'll have you join me back. Alexis, thank you. I'll have you join your teammates. As behind us, there are a lot of folks who want to be able to see their sons or daughters and friends and all those who support this year's Nebraska FFA State Officer Team. Always a lot of excitement on this big night of convention.
It is too, and there were over 600 FFA members who received their state degrees, so they're buzzing around downstairs too, celebrating their achievements.
679 of them this year. A lot of folks, and we appreciate you joining us here on this live stream. We bring you this Nebraska FFA State Officer interview or moments after the 7th session wrapped up. On behalf of Alex Wojciechowski and our production team, I'm Bryce Duskett, thanking you for joining us.